The Oklahoma City Thunder have now played 56 games so far this season. And I don't know about you, but for me, this season has felt like a book with 10 different chapters already. It just seems like there's been a lot going on. The Thunder started off super hot. In fact, everyone was having conversations about them potentially having the most wins in the regular season. Uh, J-Dub took a little longer than what was expected to come back. That felt like it took forever. Um, then there was the emergence of AJ Mitchell, and that was a thing. That was kind of caught people off guard by surprise. We knew he would be good. We didn't know that he would be this good or this important for the team. Um, then there was the Spurs losses that just felt like everything was falling apart. Um, J Dub, he gets injured again with his hamstring, is out for a prolonged period of time, comes back, looks great, and then re-aggravates it. Um, and then, Chet becomes an all-star, which is great. Shea looks like the runaway MVP after some other major injuries in the NBA. And then the Jared McCain trade that just came out of nowhere. I think everyone was surprised by that. And throughout all of the season, there were injuries here, injuries there, just sprinkled out throughout the entire season. Now, Shea has been injured for a few games. And so it just has felt like there's been so much going on with this Oklahoma City Thunder team. But I want to talk about today the five things that I'm going to look out for the remaining 26 games. The games that kind of are the stretch run that will lead us into the playoffs. Hopefully, where we kind of come together, have some cohesion, are playing our best basketball going into the playoffs. Hello, my name is Nathan, and this is Thunder Up Talk. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching my video. If you do like it, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. All right, so the five things that I am looking out for the rest of the regular season, these next 26 games, start with injuries. So it doesn't take a brain surgeon. If you're a Thunder fan, you know that we have just been decimated with injuries. In fact, we are the third most injured team in the NBA, which I just want to stop for a second and say the fact that we are 42 and 14 in our 56 games with that many injuries really is pretty impressive. If you just take a step back and take a big picture view, um, the fact that we have this record with that many injuries is very, very impressive. With that being said, if we don't get back to, especially J Dub, if he doesn't get back to like 90% of what he is capable of doing, I don't think the Thunder are going to win the championship. And that's just blunt and the truth. I love this team, but I don't think we can beat the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals if we don't have a mostly healthy Jalen Williams. Um, and especially if there are continue to be other injuries on top of that, it'll be tough. And even against the Spurs, I think that that would even be pretty tough. They're a great team defensively. And again, they're young, so I'm not quite as worried as I am with the Denver Nuggets, but I really think we have got to be as healthy as we've been all season to beat a team like the Denver Nuggets. Um, Number two, the number two thing that I'm kind of paying attention to is just AJ Mitchell's role on the team and particularly how he can fit with the starters. I want to see Mark kind of mess around with that a little bit because I think there will be times where he could be with the starters and kind of replace Lou Dort potentially. And that's nothing against Lou Dort. I just think there could be moments where we need a guy that can help Shea get to the rim, add pressure, to the rim. And so AJ Mitchell has been the second best driver of the basketball so far this season. I mean, and it's not even close. Jalen Williams has been hurt, so he would probably be number two. But AJ Mitchell's been great. He's just relentless. I talk about him all the time, and I want to see how he fits with the big dogs. All the starters. And again, I don't know if Mark will do that or not, but it's just something that I'm kind of keeping my eye out for and would love to see. Because I would love to see the, you know, third best defender have to close out on AJ Mitchell. And AJ Mitchell's going to attack the closeout and probably get to the rim versus a Lou Dort who's getting that guy. And, you know, I love Lou Dort, but he's a catch and shoot guy. And he's just not the best driver to the basket. He's not the best finisher. So that's what I'm looking for in regard to AJ Mitchell. Um, the other fit that I want to see is just how Jared McCain fits with the entire team. We have not seen him with a full healthy roster. And again, I'm thinking of really cool lineups like the big three and Jared McCain and Isaiah Joe. I want to see what all that spacing looks like and how the defenses react. Man, to give any kind of extra space to Shea would be incredible and just a ton of fun to watch. I- I'm not naive. I don't know that Jared McCain is going to play a ton in the playoffs. Maybe he'll surprise me, but I just want to see, if I see signs of a slippage in defense with Jared McCain in these next 26 games, because that's possible. Um, but I just think that the Thunder are going to do their best to put him in positions to be the best version of himself. So, yeah, that's just the main thing. I want to see how he fits with the team, with everyone, and again, that's so tough for Mark to have to decide who gets minutes and who doesn't. I think the best approach will be to kind of go to some guys and say, "Hey, you are not playing this game, just to see what this looks like." Versus getting a guy 3 minutes here, 2 minutes here, all throughout the season. And maybe that'll be a way to be able to keep some guys healthy. And we tend to do that kind of thing with Alex Caruso anyway, so I'm sure he will be a candidate for, doing things like that. The fourth thing that I'm really wanting to pay attention to, I touched on it a little bit talking about AJ Mitchell, but um, Lou Dort has just had a bad season, and that's the truth of the matter. He is up to 35% from three, but that's his third lowest percentage from three in the last three seasons. And this stat kind of caught me off guard. So he has the fewest points per game and the fewest minutes per game since his rookie season. Um, he just hasn't looked the same. Shooting the ball, he's just been really volatile with this. Some games he shoots great, some games he's average, but overall, it's just not looked great. And part of that is probably the fact that other guys are just getting better. When you're comparing a guy like Lou Dort to AJ Mitchell, who is getting better and better, comparing Lou Dort to Cason Wallace, who is also getting better and better, and both of those guys can do much more offensively, and aren't a huge drop defensively, especially Cason Wallace, of course. Cason can do almost every bit of what Lou Dort can do, but AJ Mitchell isn't a slouch. So I'm just curious to see, do we keep Lou Dort in the starting lineup? Um, are there instances where we kind of play around and have him come off the bench? Probably not, but it'll be interesting just to see if Lou Dort can kind of bounce back for this final third of the season, get that 3 point percentage back up, kind of gain some confidence, kind of look like that defensive stopper that we've known him to be for the last several seasons. Because if he continues playing like he has for these 56 games, I think we'll see a significant reduced role for Lou Dort. There's just too much talent on this roster to just try to keep him out there just because he's been with us forever. And again, I'm never big on giving up on guys just because they've had a bad stint or whatever for a few games, but it's definitely been all season long that he's just kind of been off. And if we have better players or who are playing, or if we just have guys who are playing better than he is, we've got to play them. It's the NBA, and they're trying to win games, trying to win an NBA championship. So definitely keeping my eye out on Lou Dort and how he fits with this Thunder team. The last thing that I'm just keeping my eye on are the standings. So the Thunder are, like I said, 42 and 14. They do have the best record in the West. They're up 3 games on the San Antonio Spurs. They actually have a lower winning percentage than the Detroit Pistons. But that's because, and the Thunder have 2 more wins because they've played 3 more games. So, you know, if the Detroit Pistons win the next 3 games, then they'll for sure outright be the best team in the NBA or have the best record. But it's getting really close. And, the Detroit Pistons are young, but I like them. I wouldn't be shocked if they are representing the Eastern Conference in the finals. They're really physical. They try super hard. They actually have an all-star that, in Cade Cunningham. Um, I might like Cade better than the Knicks' best player and the Cavs' best player. Um, and I know, and I think every NBA fan knows, the Cavs and the Knicks are certainly capable of kind of wetting the bed of coming up short. So, it could be easy to go, oh, it's the Pistons. They're not going to make the finals and it won't matter. But I don't know that that's true. Um, and I think it's so important that the Thunder have that 1 seed. It came up over and over and over again. Hopefully, it doesn't have to in these playoffs, but having the 1 seed really mattered when we played the Denver Nuggets when we got a game 7 at home. It really, really mattered when we played the Indiana Pacers when we got game 7 at home. So, the fifth thing that I'm going to be paying attention to is just how other teams are moving up or down in the standings and how we are as well. So that's really all I've got for today. I'm super excited about this team still yet. I just want them to be healthy. I think that's what every Thunder fan is saying and thinking. And I'm just excited to see, how this team meshes together. I didn't even talk about Topage. Like, is he a guy at all? Will he get to play? I think he'll get some spot minutes. I don't think he's going to contribute in the playoffs. But man, we've just got a bunch of young talent on top of, a great team, and that'll be exciting in itself to watch as well. Um, but yeah, that's all I've got for today. Have a great day and Thunder up. Talk to you later.